All right, guys, you are now tuned in to our special midweek version of Substitute Teachers Lounge, which we'll call the weekly Student Spotlight. All right, on Substitute Teachers Lounge today, our midweek episode of the Student Spotlight, we have Elijah and Jackson. How you doing today, guys?
We're good.
Great.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Where do you guys live and what grades are you in right now?
So I'm Elijah Davidson. I live in Littleton, Colorado, and I'm a junior in high school.
Okay.
I'm Jackson Davidson, and I'm a freshman at Conifer High School, and I live in Littleton as well.
Nice, nice. You guys still have, I know there's snow on the mountains, but you still have snow on the ground out there? Or when's the last snow you saw?
The last snow we got a snow last weekend, but
Really?
because it's been so sunny and decently warm, it's been melting very quickly.
Yeah, it melted
Right.
the next day.
What's the temperature? I'll tell everybody we're talking at about, it's 3 o'clock my time. I assume it's 1 o'clock out there, or am I still an hour off?
No, that's correct.
It's 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the temperature like that right there now?
It's pretty warm out here. It's about 65 and not a cloud in the sky. It's really nice.
Oh,
today.
nice. Nice. We're just above that, maybe 5 degrees warmer than that.
Oh, nice.
Tell us what your favorite classes are in school and why, whether that's the subject matter or the teacher or whatever you want to share.
I really enjoy ELA because I like writing essays and stories and reading things like that.
Okay.
And I really enjoy Spanish as well because I think it's really important to learn a new language, and
I
that's
do
a skill that I
do
think will
too.
be helpful. And they're both fun classes, so
Right.
I like both of them.
Some of my favorite classes, I really enjoy AP World History, and that's because of my teacher. He does a great job of making the material really fun. He does a lot of cool stuff that is really creative and a really great way to do it. An example of that is we were learning how to do contextualization in our essays, and what he did was
Nice.
he started one of the Star Wars movies, but he skipped the opening crawl. And so
Okay.
we watched some of the Star Wars, and then the people who had never seen it before, they were a little confused. So then he rewinded it and showed the opening crawl that explained all of it. And it really was
Oh,
a great
yeah.
way to do it. And so now when we're writing essays, he reminds us for contextualization to just do the Star Wars crawl. And so it's really helped in that
Okay.
department.
So there are still people out there that haven't seen Star Wars, huh?
That was my thought too. Yeah.
It's funny when we got Disney Plus, and I've told the other listeners this before a few months ago, and I got caught up on all the Marvel and all the Star Wars movies just to reacquaint myself. My sons have always been bigger fans than me, but I got myself rehooked on them when I watched them again. You know, since you mentioned that teacher, let me ask you this. Obviously, that's one way to keep students motivated. Share with me you don't have to tell me their names, but share with me what you think your teachers do, your favorite teachers do to keep students motivated in their classes.
I think my favorite teacher is probably my English teacher, and that's because he gives assignments that are challenging, but they're not stressful, and he finds a way to make all of them fun and engaging, and I think that's probably why he's my favorite, because, you don't want to have to be doing busy work just
Right.
all alone at school. That's no
Right.
fun. So there's a lot of group activities in there as well, and so I think that's why he's my favorite.
Right. Good. Anything else, Elijah, you want to share? I like the story you shared before. Is there anything else you like that teachers do to keep you motivated?
I think going back to kind of the example I had before as an example of this, I think one of my favorite teaching styles is when teachers are able to make an assignment that you've not really seen anything like before. Even if it doesn't
cool.
work out and they're trying something new and it doesn't work out that
Right.
well, those are always the most memorable lessons to me. And another example I have of that is when I was in AP US History last year and we were talking about food standardization. My teacher brought in a pan of brownies, and she gave us brownies, and then as we were eating them, we found clumps of what looked like hair in them. So we were all freaking out, and she was like, "Don't worry, it's just celery." but that really stuck with me about how food standardization that could have passed back then or anything like that.
That's nice. Nice. Yeah. I've always, when I substitute teach, to me, I've always found the goofier, the better. Sometimes it holds attention so much more. And you guys have talked to me before, I don't stop talking anyway. So I try to make things fun. With that in mind, now that you mentioned some of your teachers, let me go ahead and ask you this. You may be too young yet, but have you thought about career paths yet when you get out of high school?
I personally, I would like to go into computer science specifically.
Okay.
I'd like to go into game development, but I plan to just go down a computer science path. Or if for some reason that doesn't work out, maybe something in like film or something like that. But computer science is my main focus right now.
Okay.
I have a very specific plan, and it probably won't end up working out. But I would like to work on Disney Cruise Line, and then in my off time, work as an appraiser. So
okay,
yeah,
I know these guys well enough that I know your father is an appraiser. So you guys get to work with him very often?
So we both have actually been working with him in some different capacities. I've been working on building a website for him, and that's nearly complete, an online evaluation program.
I did some market analysis spreadsheets. So just
that's so cool, guys. That's cool.
So
outside of the classroom, whether it's school or otherwise, what activities do you guys like to keep yourself involved with?
We both play tennis in the fall.
Okay.
But when that's over, I don't do much else.
I started a new job recently, which has kind of been put on hold a little bit because of this, but
sure.
I've been working in that, and then we both do some activities, just hanging out most of the time.
Okay. Well, since this is Substitute Teachers Lounge, let me ask you a couple of substitute teacher specific questions. First of all, think of your favorite substitute teachers and what made them your favorite.
I like it when substitute teachers don't try to change the rules of the classroom.
Good.
Like, I get that they have their own teaching style, but I like things to, stay pretty much the same and consistent with how the normal classroom is. And, I like it, them to be fun and excited to be there as well.
Yes.
I can think of one of my substitute teachers, especially, that's one of my absolute favorites. What I really like about him is he is easygoing, and usually if you ask him to do something, he'll generally be okay with letting you do something, but he's also not a pushover. People might try to abuse that, but he's really good at, because he respects you more often than not, the kids all respect him, and so they know not to just abuse the fact that he's substituting and may not necessarily know what kids are normally allowed to do in that class.
Yeah, I like that. Do you typically share with your regular teachers how you like the substitute, like maybe from the day before, or do your regular teachers ask you how you like them? Teachers
are usually more interested, in my experience, in how you were when the substitute was there. They usually don't ask about the substitute, but there have been a couple times where I've had a substitute, specifically that one I was just talking about, and I'll be like, he's great. And at this point, he's kind of cultivated a reputation of being great. So I think there are a few that are kind of kept on shorthand as if you can get these people, those are some of the best to get.
Yeah, Conifers are very. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Conifers is a very small community, so there's not a lot of new teachers that tend to show up. It's usually that our regular teachers find someone who they really like, or a couple people who they really like, and usually they pick the right teacher for that class. So it's usually pretty good because they know who they're dealing with and they've dealt with them before. So
good. I like it. That's what all of us are striving for, is not only to be a good substitute teacher, but, get on the preferred list. And we always looking for ideas of how to do that. All right, guys, one fun question before we get out of here. What would your superhero name be, and what special powers would you have?
my superhero name would be the Brain. And the reason for that is because my dad has called me that for a long time since I was like 6 or 7. So it's just kind of stuck. And I think my superpower would be to read minds, because then I can know kind of what people are thinking about me and how I can improve myself. And
nice. Marvel needs to sign you up. That sounds good. What about you, Jackson?
Oh, sorry. My superpower would be kind of a weird one. My name would be Findo, and I would be able to find anything. Like you lose your car keys or your phone or something like that, you just know where it is.
Nice.
That's like one of the most annoying things that can happen is you lose something. Or, you can find like big secrets, like secret gold or things like that. So that would be my superpower.
I can tell you guys are a lot more creative than I am. So those were good answers. Guys, we really appreciate you being with us here today. Anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
No, I think we're okay. Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. That was Elijah and Jackson. Thanks for being on Student Spotlight with us this week. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that Student Spotlight. Tune in for another Student Spotlight next week in the middle of the week. In the meantime, we've got our normal Substitute Teachers Lounge episode on Sunday. See you then. Music provided by bensound.com.